Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. MFJJ here at podiumarcher.com, looking at the Bino harness I've been using for a couple of months, the Striver gear. I believe this is their second iteration of it. How is it different? Why is it different? Well, one, it doesn't use magnets to close. It's elastic, which is very quiet, which I do like, but I'll just go ahead and throw it on here so you got an idea. But this is the large one. They make them in 3 different sizes. This will hold the giant SIG binocs that I've been playing with, which this is for another video. These are pretty freaking cool. We do have snap-on, snap-off attachments for them, adjustable in length. And this is probably bigger than the average guy needs. Regular 1042s, 842s, majority of yours should fit in the medium. You shouldn't need a large. This is super comfy. It's modular. There's different attachment points, but more than anything, once you get it on, the unique thing that this does is it's got these little clips. There you go. You have to take the weight off of the strap before you pull it. And voila. You take off your harness. You don't have to leave this on. This is the cell phone holder. The whole Bino system's $165. These are $50 modular, and then the cell phone thing's $40. But the neat thing about this is you can put your phone in it and record. There's a little container in the front, if I remember right. So you could self-record your stuff a little bit if you wanted, if you were trying to get an actual shot with your hands free, which is kind of neat. But it does actually clip on the front side pieces if you want to use it in that regard. But the prices are all the same for all 3 of them. I'm really happy with this unit. Can put a little wind checker over on the side, could throw some calls in it here and there. There's little pouches all over it. It's really well thought out. Could actually probably hook a water bladder system onto this and keep it on. They do not have a beer holder yet, which I'm disappointed in. I could totally take advantage of that. There is a little pouch in the back too, so if you don't want to actually have the cell phone holder in here, you can slide your phone in the back side of it, so there's somewhere for your phone to sit. I traditionally, I've done this on several different Bino harnesses. I've put a small sidearm in there before without too much of an issue. There are straps on the bottom as well to attach, I'm assuming, a holster to, if you'd like. It does zip open as well. I don't know if that's a separate little, what is in here? Little rain fly. So you can actually throw this over it if it's raining really hard, try to keep the water off of it. They've really thought a lot through this system, but more than anything, and what I can say about it is I think it's more comfortable than any harness I've ever put on. It doesn't really, you don't notice it. It's not cumbersome. It's not a burden. You still sweat pretty well if it's warm outside with it, no matter what you do, but I have yet to find one that you don't. And this, to be able to take this off but not have to take your whole harness off, when you sit down to eat or just taking a break or whatnot, it cools you off so fast that you don't actually have to take off the whole thing. So to me, it's easier on, it's easier off. I love the system. It's really cool. And I encourage you to go down to your local pro shop and try to purchase this Bino harness, or at least try it on. They need you, you need them. It's a relationship you need to work on and develop, because you both are going to need each other at some point. So I beg you, please go check your local pro shop and see if they're carrying this Bino harness. If you're going to buy it online, and only if you're going to buy it online, podiumarcher.com for all those archery needs. $99 and up is free shipping, and coupon code MFJJ may save you a little money. In my life, I've had the Sitka harness, I've had the marsupial harness, I've had the Stone Glacier harness, and they all have their own benefits. And now I've got the Striver gear. And honestly, I would pick this one over the other ones every time. The Stone Glacier one's light and small and compact. It's thin. That's a benefit. The marsupial's super easy open and close, but I do think the shutting of it actually makes a little more noise than the other ones. And I'm a hunter at the end of the day. That's what I care about, and that's what I use it for. I am wondering what other things I could actually strap onto or attach onto this, because there's a more comfortable weight distribution on this, and I'm not sure if it's the back or the front or what part of the adjustments they have on this that make it super user friendly, but I'm thinking you could probably actually hang other stuff off this. I know I saw a guy with a water bladder set up on one in I think it was San Antonio, and I thought that was pretty slick, and that's when I first looked at it. And then the guy who owns the company grabbed me and said, "Hey, come look at this harness." And I thought it was really nice, man. I don't know what else you can do to a harness. I do love the ability to be able to put a firearm on the bottom of it and or bear spray, because let's be realistic, you probably need to be carrying something along those lines, especially if you're mountain hunting. One thing to consider when you are running electronics or compasses and things of that nature, having magnets in your harness can mess with those features and those things. If you ever had a problem with your phone moving around when you're trying to find a location collab on a on Onyx or similar software, you're going to run into an issue if you have magnets around your phone. So the fact that this has no magnets in it, yet it still opens smoothly and closes smoothly, to me, I think it's superior. Now, it's not a knock on anybody else's stuff, but the ability of how smoothly this opens and closes without magnets is pretty freaking awesome, if you ask me. So my full rig setup would traditionally be a rangefinder in my right side, my binos in the middle. I honestly have done this a lot. Kind of up to you if you want to do it. I carry a small, like, what's a Glock 43X? Yeah, Glock 43X, and I'll actually tuck it right into here. There's enough room in here where it's relatively comfortable, and the handle's sticking right here. Because personally, dangling underneath for me, it will bump into my backpack. This does seem to clear everything with it when I carry it in that way. Bear spray underneath would be a wise decision for me if I'm in areas where there are grizzlies. Like I said, I do love to have the wind checker in the left side because I'm constantly using that. A couple of extra mouth reeds in the front. And outside of that, I run a wrist strap thumb button, so I don't need to put my thumb button anywhere, but a clip like the Ivory holsters or one similar to that on the side of this as well would work phenomenal. If you're using a handheld that needs to come off or doesn't have a strap system, be a really good way to do it. There's so many little things you can do in here. I almost always has at least one set of Allen wrenches in my harness as well because it's always need them, super handy to have. There's just so many things you can put in. I mean, you could put snacks in it within a given degree. Not something I typically do, but you totally could. Carry your tags in there. They don't weigh hardly anything. You're always going to have them on you. If you use a disposable blade knife or something small or light, it'd be easy to keep your knife in it, which I have done several times. I frequently am running around without a pack or a pack stashed somewhere that I don't carry on me. And everything I need to function is usually in my harness. So the more versatile a harness can be, the more modular a harness can be, the more options that you can adapt to a harness is insanely valuable to me personally. I love that ability. And these guys have offered a lot of different options and are constantly working on new options. You could probably comment down below on what modular features you wish the harnesses had that they don't. You might even give them some ideas and end up having them make something that you really like to help the harness work better for you. But it's rare anymore that a guy doesn't use one of these things because they're just so versatile. And out of all the ones made, personally, the Striver gear has my vote. But what do you think? Comment down below. All right. Now listen in, like right now, like this let the women leave the room if they're in there, okay? This is for just the guys, all right? Are they gone? All right. Bro code. If you see your buddy and his shit is all twisted up in the back and whatnot, just secretly, quietly run over and give him a little twist, help him out, because nobody needs a twisted bra strap, because that's really what we got going on here. Nobody needs to see that. All right, so look out for your buddies. It happens to everybody, but if your front just popped off, wouldn't happen to you now, would it?